Hey, my name's Tim Grimmer.
And I'm Luis Quell.
And we're both from the Lowepro product team. We're going to check out a new line, StreetLine, for you today. And Luis, we started this project probably a year and a half ago. And we're really inspired by today's new mirrorless cameras, aesthetically, performance-wise, and how it was enabling folks to work in a different and new way. So again, about a year and a half ago, we set out to design a great mirrorless camera bag, and I think that we've actually designed a great urban day pack to carry all kinds of gear. So
yeah, I totally agree. That was the assignment, and I think we really did a great job, if it's okay to say that about ourselves. But yeah, we set out to make something that was really right for the urban user. So we knew that they had a lightweight kit that was really powerful, but that they wanted to take advantage of that lightweight. That's the whole point, right? So we wanted something that was really low profile, and we've done that throughout the series. We've tried to keep the front to back dimension, the thickness, so to speak, as thin as possible. And then we knew that this is a person who's going to be sort of in and out of doors, and this doesn't mean that they're going to be climbing mountains, but they are going to be walking around on the street, and it's going to get wet sometimes. So we really wanted to have a strong element of what we call elemental protection, so a little bit of protection from wind and rain and such. So we've got flaps that close up and tops that double fold and waterproof zippers throughout the series to make sure we do that. And then that third thing that I guess it's fair to say we really struggled or even talked a lot and sort of challenged each other a lot around the idea of what was retro, or did we want something retro, and was it right? And it took us a while to get to this idea that what we needed was something that worked with the retro, but that was our version of it. It wasn't just an old school bag. It was a technical, really kind of utility-oriented bag. And that's what we did with the materials here and with the sort of the back panel. So, you look at it and it's like, I don't know, tell me about that fabric, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to touch and hold, and again, because it's Lowepro, it's all about protection. And we're thinking about crowded urban environments and spending your days in city life and going from place to place, exploring within the city. And so these are slim and efficient, but there's a great protection and comfort story. So starting with the protection story, it does start with the outside and this fabric, which is beautiful to look at, captures light brilliantly, rich feel, but it's weather protective. And then when you go inside, we've got a new way to hold and protect delicate gear like cameras. And so let's check some of that out.
Yeah, so as you can see, we've got this beautiful lustrous lining on the interior, and each of these has got, and only the backpack is removable, but they've all got these collapsible boxes. So this is perfect for something about the size of an OMD. So you can see that pops open, and it's got a little float there. So actually, if you put your camera in there, it doesn't quite touch ground. So it's kind of like what we call cradle fit in the laptop space. It's just a nice airspace there. And then this other side is perfect for a spare lens. But the truth is, these, because they collapse so flat and because they're so basic, so to speak, they're going to carry all kinds of stuff. You can put a notebook here, you can put a drink here if you want to. They're super versatile, and they've even got another little pocket on the front. These are molded compressed foam front and back panel, and you can see all of these creases are molded in, so it's always going to crease exactly the same way. That Velcro keeps it locked up. So all the sizes have this. The littlest one has just got one compartment in there.
We're calling these flex pockets, and it's a brilliant way to use space when you need it and then move it away when you don't need it, which really speaks to what we were talking about before about how photographers are working with these new smaller cameras and the ability to carry other stuff around with you. So it started out looking at cameras, and it's got some really good protection. But then it works great for headphones or other things that you might be carrying that are a little bit bulky. Let's talk about the material, this external material.
Yeah, so this is it's a two-tone 600D. So what they've done is they've put a couple of different kinds of fibers in here, so they take the dye differently. What that means, just for the average user, is that it's going to have a softer hand than a regular 600, and it's got more variation in color, which just makes it feel more natural. but it still has all those really great performance characteristics of a synthetic. So it's the abrasion, it's the weather resistance because we've got a polyurethane coating on the back and we've still got a DWR on the top. So it's just it's a really nice fabric that has the same level of performance that you'd expect from us, but in a more natural look.
I love the palette of this material against the waterproof zippers and the leather detail.
Yeah, that's something that we're trying to really play up throughout the line, is to say, for us, the aesthetic is about our protection story, and that's what we're trying to emphasize here. So this is about your waterproof protection. The bottom here is similar, right? We've got a tarpaulin bottom, so if you set this down somewhere wet, or if it's just a little bit of condensation, you don't have to worry about that. And that's throughout the series. Waterproof zippers up above and below, and then the leather hits are touch points, right? So you want to hold this. It's supposed to feel good in hand, and so we've done a leather handle here and here. The other place where we've done a new sort of material approach for us is on this back panel. And this is about that tech story. We wanted it to not feel just like an old bag. We wanted it to have a really contemporary feel and get the low-pro performance that you want. So we've molded this back panel. And it's just enough. It's a really smooth material, so it's not going to abrade something like a nice jacket or a sweater. But it gives you a little bit of support, and it just looks, I think, right for this gear, which is, if you're looking at your Fujis and your OMDs and all these cameras, part of the appeal is how that kind of old school, beautiful look, but the real appeal is that it's small and that it's such a great camera for its size, and that's what we were trying to do here. Is we've got a little bit of that sort of old school appeal, but really it's small and it's amazing performance and it's just everything that you would expect.
I feel like StreetLine really does sort of match the aesthetic of these mirrorless cameras, and so it's putting a beautiful piece of hardware in a beautiful carry solution. It just feels right.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And then, I don't know, should we go through a couple more features
Yeah,
here?
I think, we got, StreetLine comes in 4 styles. You have a simple shoulder bag that carries 1 camera and all your other essentials. Then you'd step up to a sling. And this sling is worn cross-body. So again, we're talking about densely populated urban areas and navigating big crowds in and out of subways and cabs. And so this type of sling acts as like a messenger bag, but it's worn cross-body, so it can go over the front or right on my back. So you can control sort of how you hold this sling close to your body, again, navigating those busy streets. And then, of course, the messenger, and then finally the backpack. So StreetLine, our newest camera bag, and really it ended up being, I think, just a great overall urban day pack. Coming to you soon.